So perhaps you're on Ozempic, Wegovy, Mounjaro at a given dose, and maybe you've reached your target weight, or maybe you're working your way down to your target weight. And of course, the question has come up, well, what do I do when I reach my target weight? Do I come off of the medication altogether? Do I reduce my dose to a maintenance dose in order to maintain the weight that I lost? How exactly do we approach this once we've reached that target weight? So for a majority of people that have reached out to me asking this question about maintenance doses, they have been looking and thinking about the idea that they're going to take a dose that is less than the dose that they took in order to reach their target weight. And there's been a couple of reasons as to why people want to go on a maintenance dose. As I've already said, for one of them, they've maybe reached their target weight and they don't want to lose any more weight. Or maybe they reach their target weight and at a given dose they continue to lose weight, so they want to back the dose off and want to know how to go about doing that. Or certain people have gotten into the gym or various other activities and are really killing it there, but they're finding they need to eat more food in order to increase their performance, and the drug just doesn't allow them to or makes it very hard to, so they want to back off the dose in order to increase their performance and get more food into their system. And of course, there are people that are just simply concerned about having drug in their system or having anything in their system, and so they want to try and find a lower dose or try to come off the drug altogether in order to prevent or lower their risk of any potential harms that have yet to be proven and likely won't be proven to come out with these medications down the road. And so the million-dollar question comes back to clinicians like myself is, what do we recommend as a maintenance dose for these various medications? And the answer to that question is really quite simple. We simply don't recommend a maintenance dose. A, we don't have any data or trials for maintenance doses after you've reached your target weight. And B, we really need to keep in mind that obesity is a chronic and progressive disease. So, if you have developed obesity, it is going to be something that you need to deal with and to manage for the duration of your life. And it's progressive in the sense that your body is going to continue wanting to gain weight over the course of your life. And if you have lost weight, your body is going to fight tooth and nail to get you to regain that weight back. Trust me, I know it sucks, but this is the reality of obesity. Now, let's go through a little bit of data so I can really illustrate and drive my point home. And so first off, I want to address, why can't I just come off of Ozempic or Wegovy altogether? I've reached my target weight, we have met the goal, and ultimately I'd like to come off the medication. And again, just to reiterate it, obesity is a chronic and progressive disease. The medication is helping you to manage that disease, and if we take it away, well, the weight is likely going to come back. And I really want you to think about now, anytime you've done any other kind of diet plan or program, you've likely been on it, you've lost the weight while you're on the program or plan, but as soon as you come off that said program or plan, you ultimately gain the weight back. And so I want to illustrate this point via the data from the Step 1 extension trial. And so what happened in the Step 1 extension trial is basically they took a group of individuals, they split them into two groups. They had the placebo group and the other group got Wegovy and were titrated up to a dose of 2.4 milligrams once per week. And as you can see on this lovely little graph here, the group that was in the Wegovy group lost a significant amount of weight, and then at week 68, the authors then withdrew that Wegovy medication, and ultimately what happened is the people that were on Wegovy gained a majority of the weight back. So once they took the drug away, weight gain then occurred. Again, obesity is a chronic and progressive disease. Whatever we use to lose the weight, it has to be sustainable and maintainable for the long term. Now, let's look at the data from the Step 5 trial. What they did in the Step 5 trial here is they again took a group of people, split them into two. One group got placebo, one group got Wegovy, and they followed them for a period of 2 years. And so as you can see on this lovely little graph here, again, the people that were in the Wegovy group lost a considerable amount of weight. Their weight kept coming down until about that week 68 mark, and then it plateaued, and it continued to plateau over the next year following of that study. And so it shows that all of these people were on Wegovy 2.4 milligrams once per week, and that helped them to maintain their weight for the long term over that 2-year period. So as a general recommendation, what we recommend for maintenance doses is that you stay on whatever dose of the medication allowed you to reach your target weight in order to keep that weight off long term. In general, we do not recommend backing off the dose or anything like that. We just recommend you staying where you're at. Now, of course, there's going to be exceptions, and I certainly have had patients come to me who have said, I'm at my target weight at a given dose of X medication. I am still losing weight and I don't want to be losing any further weight, or maybe I want to get better performance at the gym or what have you. And so at that point in time, we have to develop a strategy in order to help them find maybe a lower dose of the medication in order to help them to maintain the weight that they have lost, but also help them to achieve their goals that they're striving for. And so it's a bit of a process, and before I dive into this process, of course, I need to have and put out the disclaimer that you need to do this in conjunction with your healthcare providers. You have to make sure that you're doing it safely and effectively and all of that wonderful stuff, so please do not sue me. Now, the process for the select individuals that this might apply to, this process is going to be a slow one, and what I'm going to use here is the example of Wegovy to kind of illustrate the point. And so what's going to happen is that, say you're on Wegovy 2.4 milligrams once per week, and we want to find a maintenance or lower dose for you. What we're going to do is we're going to decrease you down to your previous dose of Wegovy that you were on. So if you're on 2.4 milligrams once per week now, we're going to decrease you down to 1.7 milligrams once per week. And we're then going to hold you at that dose for a period of at least 4 weeks. In reality, you should go longer, but a period of 4 weeks is going to allow the medication to stabilize in your system at that lower dose and concentration to give us a good idea of what kind of effect that dose will have in the system. And at this point in time, you're going to need to monitor yourself. You're going to need to monitor, are you achieving and working towards your goal? So has the weight loss stopped? Are you getting and able to eat more food so your performance at the gym is going up? What exactly is going on? Further, we need to look at how's your hunger, how's your cravings, how's all of that stuff, and is this going to be something that's going to allow you to maintain and achieve your goals? And at that point, if all is stable and maybe you're still losing weight or you're still not quite reaching your goals that you want to, you can then look at going down to the previous dose again. So if you're at Wegovy 1.7 milligrams once per week, at this point you can decrease to Wegovy 1 milligram once per week and repeat that process all over again for a period of at least 4 weeks. And ultimately, if you decrease your dose down and you find that you're not able to manage your hunger and cravings, or it's not working for you or what have you, then you're just going to go back up to your previous dose and you're going to hold yourself there, and that's going to be your maintenance dose, and we can look at other strategies and such in order to help you to achieve your goals. Basically, whatever dose allows you to maintain your weight, to manage your hunger and cravings, to manage the biology in your brain, is ultimately going to be your maintenance dose. And as a final point here, if you need a medication to help you to manage your weight, it doesn't mean that you're a failure. It doesn't mean that you are cheating. It doesn't mean any of the crap that society and other people might be saying. If it is helping you to achieve your happiest and healthiest life, that is A-OK. And everybody else can really just go catch a chicken. So that is everything you need to know on maintenance doses, and in reality that we don't exactly recommend them at all, but hopefully that helps you out and answers some of the questions that I've been getting. As always, you beautiful people, check me out on my other channels at The Official Dr. Dan. As well, check out my website, healthevolve.co. And until next time, always remember that small tweaks lead to massive peaks.